Let's start. Feet a little wider than hip distance apart. And let's just start with just shifting our hips from side to side. If you've been sitting all morning, this might feel really good just to get a little movement in our hips, keeping our knees nice and soft. As we start to breathe deeply into our low back, taking nice deep breaths in and deep breath out. And circling your hips, keeping the knees nice and soft. For anybody whose low back has been a little bit tender, you may want to start with smaller circles so we start to get a little bit more into the low back, getting a little bit more into the hip flexors. And for anybody who wants a bit more core, as we bring the pelvis forward, imagine pulling up through the pelvic floor as well as engaging our abdomen muscles. Taking those big breaths in and deep breaths out. And reverse other way. And as this starts to feel okay, allowing the circles to get a little bit wider, starting to release, not just our back, but also through our hips, our psoas in the front, getting into our hamstrings a bit in the back too, as we breathe. Still taking nice deep breaths in. And deep breath out. Coming back to center. And when you're ready, let's bring the arms up. And exhale, just letting go of your morning. This is your time for you. Nice big breath in. And exhale. Last one. And exhale, reaching the arms all the way up, bowing forward. Inhaling for a halfway lift, nice beautiful flat back, fingertips towards your shins. Exhale, relaxing your head down, soften your knees, and come all the way up, opening the chest towards the top. Exhale, bringing hands to heart, hands to side, and two more. Big breath in. Exhale, diving down. Inhaling for a halfway lift. Exhale, relaxing down, soften, coming all the way up. Exhale, bringing hands to hearts, hands to side, one more. Just getting a little bit more mobility through our bodies. Inhaling for a halfway lift. Exhale, relaxing down, soften, coming all the way up, reaching the arms out, wider stance, just wiggling your feet out, pulling up through pelvic floor, reaching to the right, windmill through center, coming over to the left, and up, and reach. Exhale, whenever we come through center, making sure pelvic floor is pulled up. One more. And reverse the other way. Reach the left. Exhale as we bow forward to the side and up. Three more. Feeling how good it feels just to stretch. Feeling those spaces opening up in between our ribs as we reach the side. Through center, to the side, and up. Taking left hip up, slide your rib cage over to the right. Reaching to the side. Flat back, turn to the corner. Press your hips back, flat back. Belly button in and roll it up. Reach back. Flat back, reaching to the corner again. And relaxing over right leg. And soften into left knee. And straighten. Bending your right knee. And straighten. and left. And straighten, coming back to center. Soften your knees and slowly coming all the way up, reaching this time to your left. Turn to the corner, nice, beautiful, flat back. And exhale, curl, reaching all the way, reach back. And flat back. And wrap. Coming back to center. And very carefully this time, sliding, bending into your right knee. Coming back to center, left knee. Just back and forth, hands on the ground. When you're ready, we are going to take our hands over towards that left leg. And this time, feeling your chest reaching towards your shin. Feeling that stretch up the back of the left leg and bending into your right knee. And straighten. Bending into left again. And straighten. One more. And straighten. Walking hands back to center. Bending your knees. Lifting your chest up, bringing it into what I like to think of as a frog. And straighten. Tailbone to sky. One more. Really breathing into your hip. And straighten. Left hand presses into the ground and extending right arm up to the sky and breathe. 5 big breaths. In and out. Seeing if it's possible to open up that top shoulder just a bit more as we breathe. And one more big breath on the exhale, slowly bringing it back. Find that foundation, right arm roots, left arm extends up to the sky. Taking nice deep breath in. And deep breath out. Two more. And slowly coming back to center. And walking your hands through your legs towards the wall behind you. Feeling your tailbone reaching up to the sky. As we take nice big breaths in. And nice deep breath out. One more big breath. On the exhale, slowly walking hands back, soften knees. And slowly coming all the way up. Bringing chin to chest. And very carefully rolling head from side to side. Just checking in with your neck, seeing how you're feeling. And coming back to center, bringing shoulders up to your ears. Nice deep breath in. And exhale, roll them back. And two more. And exhale. Last one. And exhale. Very carefully rooting into right foot. Taking left leg, let's bring it into a tree. So either bringing it just above your ankle bone, your calf, or your thigh. If for anybody who needs a bit more, you can always, it is not in my practice, but if you're able to keep that heel above your hip bone and your body naturally goes like that, that is the next level for tree. Really breathing. Finding a spot to look at that is not moving. And just really feeling how good it feels, just to feel your rib cage stacked over your hips. Shoulders over hips too. As we breathe, collarbone wide. One nice big breath from the very base of your spine right up to your crown. And exhaling through the mouth. And one more nice deep breath in. And exhale. When you're ready, gently reaching leg back into a warrior three, making sure you've got enough space. And slowly coming back up. Kick it forward. Reaching back. Let the chest bow forward too, if it feels okay. And up. And reach. This time as we bring it back, soften knee, taking a hold of the top of the foot from the inside. Find that foundation, reach your opposite hand up, right arm up, pressing foot into hand, start to push back, bringing it into dancer. Seeing if you can reach that back foot just a little higher. And just like tree, finding a spot to look at that is not moving as your teacher falls over. Really breathe. Taking those nice deep breaths in. And deep breath out. And one more. And when you're ready, slowly bringing it back to mountain pose, breathing through the bottoms of both feet. Taking nice deep breath in. And deep breath out. Two more big breaths like that, breathing in from the bottoms of your feet. And exhale. And one more nice deep breath in. And exhale, finding that foundation in that left foot. Whenever you're ready, option one, starting with heel directly above ankle bone, 2, calf, 3, coming all the way up, 4 is that other variation I was showing you, which my body does not do, but yours might. So very carefully, gently press, feeling that equal balance between both the feet. And breathe. And you may find, which I'm finding today, sometimes one side's much easier than the other. So really breathe. Taking those deep breaths in. And deep breath out. If you're having trouble balancing, imagine breathing in through the bottom of your supporting leg as if you had tree roots, drinking up that energy from the earth. Taking those nice deep breaths in. And deep breath out. One more big breath. When you're ready, reaching it back, coming into your warrior three. And slowly coming back up, reaching it forward. And back. Feeling chest lift. And you may be like me, where you might be kicking something behind you. Being extra careful with yourself and your surroundings. Reach. This time, as we soften the knee, reaching to the inside of that foot, we are going to come into dancer pose. Find that foundation. Reaching arm up, nice big breath in. On the exhale, push and foot back. And breathe. Really reaching with your fingers, pressing your foot into your back hand. Taking those nice deep breaths in. And deep breath out. One more big breath on the exhale, slowly finding that foundation again. Back into mountain, toes facing forward, feet either close together or about hip distance apart as we breathe. Taking those nice deep breaths in and deep breath out. Feeling your crown reaching up to the sky as we take big breaths in and big breath out. One more big breath. And when you are ready, bringing it into chair. So softening your knees, feeling your hips reaching back, knees are over toes, reaching arms forward. Feeling your fingertips really reaching up in a diagonal line up towards the sky. Taking those deep breaths in and deep breath out. And if you'd like, see if we can soften the knees a bit more, creating more of a hip crease. And rooting into your right foot and extending left leg up. Taking nice deep breaths in and deep breath out. One more big breath. Coming back, soften. Breathing into both feet and transfer, picking up right foot. Belly button in, pulling up through your pelvic floor, like as if you were trying to do up a pair of pants, like the kind from the 1970s that don't have stretch denim. Really breathe. So you're really having to pull up. One more big breath. On the exhale, both feet back on the ground, reaching up, bowing forward into a forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, relaxing down, soften your knees, slowly coming all the way up. Exhale, bringing feet together. Soften the knees, reach the hips back. We are coming into a twist. So taking your left elbow over towards your right side, coming into that twist. Seeing if we can open up the top shoulder as we breathe. Taking nice deep breaths in and deep breath out. Twists are great for our digestive system. Really massages our large intestine. So as we're massaging our spine, we're also working some of those inner organs too. So making sure we breathe deeply, really working on lengthening as well as that twist. One more big breath on the exhale, coming back, unwrap into a forward fold. Inhaling for a halfway lift. Exhale, bringing hands onto the ground, stepping it back. Jump step or float back into plank. And come down through chaturanga. Scooping forward up into upward facing dog. Tuck your toes. Coming all the way back into downward facing dog. Coming up nice and high on the balls of your feet. Fingers nicely widespread. And walking through the feet by bending into one knee while the opposite heel starts to reach towards the ground. It may or it may not actually touch the ground. The most important piece is feeling that stretch up the back of your leg, up the Achilles tendon, through that calf. Making sure you're not pressing too much on the outside edges of your hands, and we're equally pressing on the inner edges. When you're ready, rooting into right foot, let's come into a three-legged dog, picking up your left foot, bending your left knee, stacking left hip on top of right hip. Taking nice deep breath in. And exhale. Two more. And exhale. Last one, slowly unstack. Reach that leg up as high as you can. We are going to step that left foot onto the outside of your left hand. Coming into a nice low lunge. Really breathe. Taking those deep breaths in. And deep breath out. Seeing if we can lengthen the spine, really breathing into your hips. Two more nice big breaths in. If it feels okay to soften your back knee, bringing knee to the ground. Flexing your front foot, opening up that hip from the hip. So allowing the knee to start to come up. If this feels okay, option 1 is staying here, untucking your toes. 2 is bringing your forearms onto the ground. So really going to breathe in to that left hip. Sometimes you may need yoga blocks underneath your elbows. And in lieu of that, sometimes having soft cover books can be helpful. Just be careful because they do get sliding. And imagine from your very back toes taking a nice deep breath in all the way up to your crown. And exhale. And one more. And exhale, slowly walking hands back up. Unstack, so coming back, nice firm foot. Knee comes in, hugging in towards your shoulder. Tuck your toes. And transfer back into three-legged downward dog, bending knee, stacking hip. Taking nice deep breath in. And deep breath out. Two more big breaths, slowly unstack, nice big breath in. And let's take left knee into pigeon. So we're going to take left knee directly behind left wrist. And option 1 is to soften your back knee, bringing it into what we call deer. Option 2 is to find our way into what we call pigeon. Really breathe. Lengthening our back leg. Seeing as we're here, are you able to start to inch that front foot a little bit more out? So eventually the ankle and knee will actually be a nice straight line. Eventually. I haven't gotten there yet, and I've been doing this for a long time. So just seeing for you if that's in your practice. Then coming down onto your forearms into what we call sleeping pigeon. So taking those nice deep breaths in. And deep breath out. And one more big breath on the exhale, slowly walking hands back up, tucking your toes whenever you're ready. Transferring back, bending knees, stacking hip. If half wheel is in your practice and you are able to come into it, please, please, please do. For those of you who have not done a half wheel before, you keep reaching your toes until it feels like you're going to fall over. And then come all the way. If coming into a full wheel is in your practice, please, please, please do. Taking nice deep breaths in. And deep breath out. One more big breath on the exhale, slowly coming back into three-legged dog. Bringing both feet onto the ground. If you would like, option 1 is staying into a longer downward dog, taking a bit of a rest. Option 2 is adding a vinyasa where you come up into high plank. Keep those elbows tucked in as we come down through chaturanga. Scooping hard up into upward facing dog. Tucking toes. Stretching back into downward dog, picking up this time. Reaching that right leg back. And when you're ready, taking a nice big breath in, we are going to come into lizard on the opposite side. So we're going to take that right foot, stepping it on the outside of your right hand. Coming into that nice low lunge. And breathe. If it feels okay to bring your knee down, untuck your toes and start to flex that foot and slowly coming all the way down. Please, please, please do come down onto your forearms as we take those nice deep breaths in and deep breath out. Really breathing. Taking nice big breaths in and nice deep breath out. Two more nice deep breaths. Whenever you're ready, if you are down on your forearm, slowly coming back up, slowly coming back off the edge of that foot, firmly planting it, tuck your back toes, and when you're ready, transferring back into three-legged dog, bending knee, stacking hip. Taking nice deep breaths in, and nice deep breath out. One more big breath, slowly unstack, reaching legs. See if we can reach it a bit higher. Taking a nice deep breath in when you're ready. On your exhale, taking right knee behind right wrist. And coming into pigeon. Taking those deep breaths in. And deep breath out. Realign, and when you're ready, if it's possible, just make sure those hips are square. So your pelvis is actually facing towards the top of your mat as we breathe. Coming down onto your forearms. Taking those nice deep breaths in and deep breath out. And taking a nice deep breath in, slowly walking hands back up, rooting into the hands, tucking back toes, very carefully coming all the way back up, three-legged downward dog, bending knees, stacking hip. If it is in your practice to come all the way over into a half wheel, please do. If it's possible to come into a full wheel, please do too. Really breathe. If not, staying with you at the bend the knee, stacked hip, whichever variation works for you. One more big breath. And on your exhale, slowly unstack, coming back, three-legged dog. Both feet on the ground, your choice if you'd like to stay into downward facing dog, or if you'd like to add a vinyasa where you come up to high plank, down through chaturanga. Scoop heart up into upward facing dog, tuck your toes, stretching back into downward facing dog, and walking through the feet. And when you're ready, softening into your knees, looking past your hands, jump, step, or float your feet forward. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, relaxing down, soften your knees, coming all the way up. Exhale, bringing hands to heart, and hands to your sides. Really breathe, taking those nice deep breaths in, and deep breath out. Two more big breaths. When you're ready, coming into chair. We are coming into a twist to the other side. So this time, let's take our right elbow over to left side and breathe. Taking those deep breaths in and deep breath out. And one more big breath on the exhale, slowly coming into a forward fold. Inhaling for a halfway lift. Exhale, relaxing down, soften your knees, come all the way up. Exhale, bringing hands to heart and hands to side. We are going to root into our right foot, picking left foot up. Option 1, knee comes to chest. Keep your ribs over your hips. 2, start to extend the leg. 3, if you're able to straighten that leg, please do. 4, taking index finger and thumb towards each other. Making sure your abs are engaged, so we're supporting ourselves. And open to the side. Slowly coming back to center. Very carefully switching which hand is holding on to the foot. Coming into a twist, extending left arm back. Really lengthening the torso. And slowly coming back to center. Reaching towards your toes. And down. And breathe. Taking nice deep breaths in. And deep breath out. Really breathing in through the bottoms of your feet. And one more big breath. And exhale, rooting into left side when you're ready. Starting to pick up. Right foot, and again, option 1, knee comes into chest 2. Start to extend the leg out. Really pulling up, bringing index finger and thumb together. Slowly bringing it to the side. Seeing if you can lengthen the front plane of the body. And coming back to center, switching which hand is either on knee or foot, depending on if the knee is bent or straight. And come into that twist. And coming back to center. Reaching and grabbing your foot. And down. And breathe, breathing in through the bottoms of your feet. Taking nice deep breaths in. And deep breath out. Two more big breaths. And when you are ready, we are going to find our way down to the ground. So we're going to come into boat. So very carefully as we come down, sitting up onto your sit bones, nice and high, making sure flesh is pulled back. Start to lean back. Belly button is engaged. If it feels okay to take your feet off the ground, please do. If it feels good to straighten your legs, please do. If it feels better to keep toes on the ground, that's okay too. This is always your class, your time, your experience. One more big breath. On the exhale, coming back down, coming into a plank. Interlacing your fingers, tucking your toes. Option one, knees are on the ground too. Just making sure your thumbs are directly underneath your nostrils, trying to keep chest forward. Trying to make sure butt is not really high up in the ground. Making sure the abdomen is engaged. And one more. On the exhale, slowly coming down, coming back up to boat when you are ready. Coming all the way, nice and tall, finding that tall seat. If at any time your hip flexors are seizing up, you can always hold on to the backs of the legs if you need to. Really breathe. Taking those nice deep breaths in. And deep breath out. One more big breath. On the exhale, release, coming back into plank. This time, if it feels okay, come up to high plank. We are going to come into a side plank. So coming all the way up, left hand coming to your side and stack. It's always okay to take top leg forward if you need to, or bottom knee down. Or being on your elbows is other alts. And down, nice work. Remembering that was your left. Coming back up again, coming into boat. Reach and breathe. Taking those nice big breaths in and big breath out. And relax, coming on to right side, side plank when you are ready. Very carefully making sure right hand is underneath right shoulder. And whenever you're ready, finding that lengthening through front plane of the body as we breathe. Pulling up through your pelvic floor, really reach, feeling energy in your arms. Feeling yourself lifting up and out of that bottom hand. And down. Nice work, everybody. Finding a tall seat. Sitting up nice and tall. And just to release, circling your ribs. Inhaling forward, exhale down. And reverse other way. Inhaling forward, exhale back. And reverse other way. And one more. Whenever you're ready, slowly coming back to center very carefully with your knees. Slowly coming back up. We are going to find ourselves all the way down whenever you're ready, knees to the ceiling. Just making sure your feet are hip distance apart. And very gently letting the knees melt to the right. And breathing deeply into your hips, into that stretch across the abdomen too. Taking those nice deep breaths in. And deep breath out. And on the inhale, coming back to center, bringing the knees back. And when you're ready, allowing the knees to melt over towards left side, turning your head to the right. And slowly coming back to center, knees to the ceiling. Taking your arms by your sides, feet hip distance apart. Very carefully tucking the pelvis. Lifting pelvis, stomach, and chest. If it feels okay to come up onto the blades of the shoulder, interlacing. Fingers, please do. If you are able to do wheel and it is in your practice and you feel warm enough, please do. And feeling yourself taking a big breath in, lifting your heart 1 millimeter higher. And on your exhale, whenever you're ready, whichever variation you're in, slowly coming back down. For those of you in full wheel, bringing head down first, then very carefully coming down, rolling down. Bringing knees into chest just to counterbalance, bringing forehead towards knees. And release, opening arms out to the sides. And very carefully, soles of the feet towards each other. Bringing it into butterfly and gently wiggling the hips from side to side just to release your hips. Taking nice deep breaths in. And deep breath out. And imagine breathing in from the bottom to your feet, all the way up to your crown. And exhale. Slowly release, bringing knees in towards chest and very gently bringing your hands to your kneecaps and drawing tiny circles. And reverse other way. And coming back to center, reaching arms and legs up to the sky and shake it out. Shaking out your hands, your feet, legs and arms, shoulders and hips. Shaking out any tension, anything you'd like to release. And relaxing down, reaching fingers and toes to opposite ends to yawn. And stretch. Feeling fresh, cool air coming in. And warm air coming out. Really reaching fingers, reaching toes. And then whenever you're ready, allowing your arms to soften. I'm just going to change the music. Allowing your arms to soften, your hands to soften, legs and feet, neck and head. We are going to find ourselves into what we call Shavasana. Allowing yourself to let your arms rest by your sides. If it feels okay and you've got a pillow or a blanket, sometimes it's nice to bring a pillow under your knees or under your head. Feel free to wrap yourself in your blanket as we take those nice deep breaths in and deep breath out as we breathe. Allowing yourself to relax, trying to allow your mind to clear, allowing top lashes to rest on bottom lashes as we allow ourselves to relax into what we call Shavasana. And feeling yourself taking a nice deep breath in and exhale. Starting to feel movement returning to fingers and toes and hands and feet. If you'd like to reach your arms above your head to yawn and stretch, please do. Feeling fresh, cool air coming in, warm air coming out. And when you're ready, taking a nice big breath in. And on your exhale, bowing to thank yourself. And I thank you too. Namaste, everyone.